Hi, Vesna. Thank you so much for joining today and opening up about your crowdfunding experiences. So you are a crowdfunding super backer. You back crowdfunding campaigns. Have you ever launched one, or you're only a backer?
I'm only a backer. I thought about launching, but I'm not into it. Not yet. Not yet.
That's
I had
cool.
some ideas, and then after several months, I saw campaigns about it. So there are ideas that people need to hear and see. But at the moment, I think this is my role in crowdfunding.
And do you know how many crowdfunding campaigns you've backed?
210, 220, something like
Wow,
that.
that is an amazing
Um,
number.
yeah, for the circumstances in Serbia, it is because you asked about Superbacker. I was, but they had conditions that you need to back at least 25 campaigns in 1 year,
Mm.
$10, and then you are a super backer. So I was for 1 or 2 years, and last year I wasn't. Different. So
That's cool. But I mean, over 200 campaigns that you've backed,
yeah,
I feel as though you can give us such an insight as to what you as a backer like in a campaign or what you don't like in a campaign. So can you give some kind of overview as some kind of the industries or campaigns that you have backed, just so that people can understand that are listening?
yeah. Um, well, those are creative campaigns as well. I think all of them are creative in some way, so it depends. They need to be original, and for some reason, we need those things. So is it, if you know, maybe one smart piano, that's the thing I need. I mean, as well as today, the clock today, it's a different one because you only have one for the whole day, and it's something beautiful, something extraordinary and not standard, not regular. So the campaigns I back are those that we need in our daily life, so we can change the routine, or you can take, you can do things easily with those ideas.
Mm.
What I do appreciate when I see a campaign is the idea, how they respond to backers. Um, Also, the the whole campaign. Is it video? Is it are there pictures? Is it the prototype? What's the, let's say, guarantee after you get a product or service or whatever? How can you be sure that it will work and things like that? So just, I like those um, not standard things.
Yeah. And is there any campaign that you've backed that like really stands out to be one that you absolutely loved?
From the idea, that's one smart piano.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when you come to my house, you'll notice all the different stuff, and people are just saying, "Ooh, this is nice, and this is nice, and this is nice, and what's this? And what's this?" I said, "Crowdfunding, crowdfunding, crowdfunding, crowdfunding." So
Yeah.
that's a lot of stuff in my house, but I just can take only smaller ones because of the customs and everything. So I
Yeah,
think
I
the
have the same
piano
thing.
was the biggest one.
I have the same thing. The other day, someone like complimented my coffee cup, and I was like, it was crowdfunded. And they just looked at me and they were like, obviously, right? I was like, yeah. Okay, so what what if anything puts you off a crowdfunding campaign? Like maybe it is a really nice idea that you would like, but then when you're on that page, is there anything that, if you saw it, you'd just be like, not into this anymore?
Yeah, it could be their not point of view, but their attitude. So they are only towards themselves and not the people. They're doing it because of themselves, not to change something in the socially, or let's say in the nature or in the world, or how do you want to call it? But it's only because of me. It's super egoistical. So I don't like that.
So when it's really focused on like how it's going to better your life as the backer and how that potentially could better the whole world, that's something that you look for. But when it's like, line my pockets with money by buying my product, you're just like,
yes,
that makes sense. That makes sense. And then
you can see, is it human or is it just for the money?
Yeah, exactly. And then with that, obviously that's like a really good piece of advice to people that want to crowdfund, is obviously like, don't look at it from your own perspective, but look at it from the perspective of your backers. Any other pieces of advice that you can give them, having obviously seen hundreds of crowdfunding campaigns, in order to make theirs stand out?
When they're making a campaign?
Yeah.
To try to make a video, be responsive to the backers, so they can see the change you want to make. Why are you doing it if it's not for the money? So you want to change something, show it.
Yeah.
That would be the most significant part.
So is it more about like showing it with video, with photos, than text, let's say?
Well, videos are the most comprehensive, and the most I feel much safer when I see a video. It's like, okay, it will be done.
Yeah. And is that also something that you see as to whether it's a prototype or not? You know, where it is on that ideation stage, does that also play a part in whether you're going to back it?
Sometimes if I'm on the, I don't know, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. But if I'm up for the idea, then I'm gonna back it.
And then how long on average are you happy to wait for your product to get delivered? And is there anything where it's, you know, too long that you just get annoyed about?
Well, I've been waiting for some of them for like 3 or 4 years to come to see them. But time isn't, it would be good if I can see it in like several months. But if you're talking to your backers, if you're updating, then there's no problem if you just say, okay, I'm delayed because of the factory, because of this or design, or somebody quit in my team, or whatever the reason. We can all understand that, because it's normal. Things like that do happen. So that's okay. Just update and it will be fine.
That makes sense, of course. And do you only use Kickstarter to find the projects, or do you use other platforms as well?
I use Indiegogo as well. But I started with Indiegogo, then I transferred mostly to Kickstarter. So I do use Indiegogo, but less.
That makes
Things
sense.
have changed on that platform. So I think Kickstarter is better and more intuitive.
For you as a backer?
Yeah, for backers.
Your experience. And then with your experience with the crowdfunding campaigns, like, do you tend to stay connected to the businesses after you've received the product? Do they tend to, you know, update you, try to get you on their mailing list, social media, or is it kind of, you know, a finished relationship? Because
it depends, but I think maybe 5% of them try to stay in contact with you.
And then, you know, obviously you can't be on, you know, over 200 mailing lists and getting all those emails. What is it, more the idea, or is it more the communications, the marketing side of it that keeps you interested?
Could be both. Could be both, but if I'm interested in that and I can see improvements can happen in the future, then I'm up for it, and I'm looking forward to the next version, or trying to communicate and give advice or my opinion or whatever, so they can do it in proper time and we can see the next model.
That's cool. And then a slightly different question, just to like end this. If someone's never given to a crowdfunding campaign before, and they don't really know whether it's trustworthy, what to look for or whatever, what type of advice would you give them?
Well, through this, you are helping someone to realize their goals and perhaps their dreams, probably. So they cannot do it by themselves. And together, this is like a big team. Together, we can make a change. That's the thing I'm trying to do. I'm not making campaign, but I'm backing it because I can see the differences they can make. And that's the point of the crowdfunding.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's like you are making someone's dream come true. You are allowing them to start the business, the charity of their passions. And obviously, yeah, they can't do it on their own. They rely on people like you that want to make a change in the world as well. And I think that, you know, if they acknowledge that and they put that message across, like you said already, then, you know, it's going to obviously work in their favor to benefit their campaign.
Yeah. Because is it $1 or $10? It can make a difference. It always can. But the more important part is you need to have faith, and they need to provide their answers and updates and everything, so you can hold that faith for the future.
That makes sense, of course. Well, thank you very much for sharing your advice today, and hopefully you'll continue backing crowdfunding campaigns.
I
will.
You
know, you maybe need to get a bigger house so you can put everything in there, and hopefully you'll continue having a good experience. But again, just thank you so much for sharing these opinions, because I think that in general, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of crowdfunders obviously like don't really talk to their backers and can't even talk to their backers before they've even crowdfunded. Yeah. So hearing your experience is really going to help them to shape better campaigns for the future.
Thank you.